So mathematical reasoning, it deals with statements. Statements are sentences which can either be told to be true or false. For example, 5 plus 7 equal to 1. This is a false statement, but still it is a statement. But something like this, what a painting. This is not a statement. Why? Because you cannot tell whether it's true or false. Therefore, it is not counted as a statement. Now we can join different statements using different types of connectives. There are 5 important connectives. What are they? And, or, not, implication, and by implication. Now let us look into them one by one. First one is and. How does the and connective work? So the working model for this is, so when you want to connect two statements, so generally we represent an entire statement by a single letter. For example, P. P can be a statement. For example, P can represent the statement I am I am I am a boy. I am a boy. Q can be I have a beard. I have a beard. Okay. So and statement. So don't get carried away by the examples I'm giving. More important is the logic, how it is working. So and statement. How does and statement work? So I just gave this as an example. It has nothing to do with and. So when I want to connect these two statements using a and statement, this is how I'm going to write the combined statement. P and Q means I am a boy and I have a beard. Okay. So when do you say a connected or a joint or a compound statement is true? Okay. So this is the most important point. This is the working principle. Working rule. See, I'm going to tell the working rule for each and every one of the connective. The working rule for and connective is, what is the working rule? And statement will be true. And statement will be true only when both the statements are true. Only when both the statements are true. Okay. So an and statement will be true only when both the involved statements are true or all the involved statements are true. Example, if I have two statements P, Q, okay. Now, is P and Q true or not? That depends on what is P, what is Q. You guys understand? So now using your permutation combination logic, each statement can take two outcomes. This has two outcomes, this has two outcomes. So what are the total possible outcomes? What are the total combinations for both of this combined? 2 into 2, 4 hoga, right? So we are going to put those 4 outcomes in something called as a truth table. Okay. So what are the 4 possible outcomes? Can someone tell me? P can be true, Q can be true, or P can be true and Q can be false. P can be false, Q can be true, or both of them can be false. ये 4 combination छोड़ के और कुछ possible नहीं है ना? Is there any other possible combination between P and Q? नहीं है ना? ठीक है? So now P and Q. Okay, now you guys have to tell me, when will the statement P and Q be true? Now let us go back to the working rule. What is the working rule? And statement will be true only when both the statements are true. Okay, यहाँ true table देखिए. So now think about it. Out of these 4 possibilities, in which possibilities both the statements are true? One, two, three, four. अभी बोले कौन सा statement true होगा?
Sir, one will be true, the rest will be false.
ठीक है. Okay, so this is called as the truth table. Truth table. it's not just for this particular case, but for any combination of P and Q using a connective, you can define a truth table. ट्रूथ टेबल मतलब क्या? सिंपल चीज है. ट्रूथ टेबल मतलब आप जितना भी सेंटेंसेस है उस सब सेंटेंसेस को मिलजुल के लिखिए एंड यू राइट ऑल द पॉसिबल आउटकम्स एंड इन द different outcomes you see what is the truth value. Okay, so I'm defining a few terms. ट्रूथ टेबल का मतलब क्या? ये टेबल को ट्रूथ टेबल बोलते हैं, where you write all the possible values which P and Q can take and what the outcome can take. Okay, and जो लास्ट स्टेटमेंट है, लास्ट स्टेटमेंट or the truth value of the outcome, that is known as the truth value. Truth value of, this is the truth value of P and Q. So the last column will give you the truth value of the statement. P and Q का truth value कितना है? True, false, false, false for these particular cases. Okay. So how many of you are clear with and statement? Raise your hands. Okay, Olivia, any doubt?
No, sir.
So then we'll go a little quickly with the other connectives. Second connective is और connective. ठीक है. So and के लिए दोनों true होना पड़ेगा, but for all statements, if at least one statement is true, then all the statements connected by or will be true. Okay, I'll give a simple example. Dogs can fly or fish can play drums, or mosquitoes can study in IIT. Or Modi is the PM of India 2020. ठीक है. Now ये sentence, ये एक sentence है. This is a statement. Is this true or false? Dogs can fly, fish can play drums, mosquitoes can study in IIT, or Modi. So individually, these statements don't make a lot of sense. But what about the entire statement? Can we say it is a true statement? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
So for those of people who don't know the definition of this, they might think, "अरे भाई क्या बोल रहे? How you can say all this stuff is true? कहाँ पढ़ते mosquito IIT में?" Those who study in IIT, they're bitten by mosquitoes, but we don't think mosquitoes study in IIT. But the point is, when is a or statement true? Or statement is true is if at least one of the statement is true. कम से कम एक statement को true होना चाहिए. In my knowledge, I think only this is true. बाकी सब तो पता नहीं. So since I am very confident about this statement, I can tell this entire statement is true. Okay. So all of this might look very childish, funny, but ये छोटा logic will play a bada role in exam. Exam में when you are given a very difficult, complicated looking statement, आपको you don't have to waste time pondering over the entire statement. You just have to go to one key critical place where you know it is true. And if you see the entire statement is connected by or symbols, if you have something, P implies Q, negation of Q plus and Q something something something. But you know one particular thing which is always true. Then you don't have to bother about everything else. Then you know the entire statement will always be true. Okay? So we'll come to more examples later on. Let us start with a simple example after we do the truth table. Okay. So what will the truth table look like? P, Q, P or Q. Okay. This is a symbol. So true, 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 false, false, true, false, false. ओके बताएं क्या होगा ट्रूथ वैल्यूज जल्दी जल्दी बोलिए
सर 3 ट्रू और 1 फॉल्स
कौन से बोलना होगा ना
फर्स्ट 3 आर ट्रू
गुड लास्ट वाला false, ठीक है और कम से कम एक ट्रू होना चाहिए जो नहीं है यहाँ तो इसीलिए लास्ट वाला पूरा फॉल्स हो जाए ठीक है दिस इज द सेकंड कनेक्टर नाउ गोइंग टू द थर्ड कनेक्टर बहुत सिंपल है नॉट इसका सिंबल ये है इसको नेगेशन भी बोलते हैं ठीक है so this is simply the it is the opposite or it takes the opposite let me write it takes the opposite truth value it takes the opposite truth value of a statement okay example if P is a statement which tells coconuts are green negation P क्या होगा what is negation P
Coconuts are not green.
Groundnuts are green. ऐसे नहीं होगा ठीक है you cannot introduce stuff. Simple thing is whatever the statement P is telling that has to be contradicted. So P is telling coconuts are green. So उसका negation क्या होगा coconuts are blue. ऐसे भी नहीं बोल सकते. The only thing you can tell is whatever the first statement is telling is not. So coconuts are not green. This is negation. ठीक है तो इसका ट्रू टेबल बड़ा सिंपल होगा अगर ये ट्रू होता है ये फॉल्स होता है ये ट्रू ठीक है ओके टिल हियर it's more or less class 9th class 10th even class 5 6 बच्चे को भी should not have a problem ठीक है but from here onwards what are you learning
So you're not audible.
I'm not audible but did you understand the coconut example did you guys were you able to hear the coconut example how many of you understood coconut example okay what about the other students Mayu Koishi Olivia fourth one is a if then statement this is also called as conditional statement or implication statement if then conditional statement I think I don't remember condition statement or conditional statement so what does this mean if something is true then this will happen that sort of thing so what is the working rule बहुत important है see this is very new to most of you a conditional statement is false only when the condition. Actually, this first statement is called condition. This is a symbol. इसको condition बोलते हैं, इसको consequence बोलते हैं. But let us keep it very simple. I'll not call it condition also. Only when the first statement, I'll call it first statement. Only when the first statement. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
And
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Only when the first statement is true and the second statement is false. Okay. Now this will take some explanation. Okay. So if then statement. All of us have heard many if then statements since childhood. Like maybe your father or mother told you that if you get 100 percentile, okay, let's keep it. If you get 99 percentile, in mains, I will buy you a chocolate. Chocolate थोड़ा छोटा है. I will buy you a bike. If you get 99 percentile in mains, I will buy you a bike. Okay. So now there are two statements here. What are the two statements? So statement P is getting 99 percentile in mains, and statement Q is I will buy you a bike. ये पूरा आपका I will buy you. तो यहाँ एक then भी होगा. So ये आपका P है, ये आपका Q है. Okay. So this is new to all of you. How this works? Let us see the different possibilities. What are the different possibilities? क्या हो सकता है? P, Q. Okay. So I'm not writing true false also, so that you guys understand very nicely. Case 1 आपको 99 percentile आ गया. You guys got 99 percentile. And आपका पापा आपको बाइक खरीद लिया. ठीक है. सेकेंड केस क्या हो सकते हैं? आपको 99 परसेंटाइल आ गया, लेकिन आपको पापा मम्मी आपको बाइक नहीं खरीदा. और क्या हो सकते हैं? आपको 99 परसेंटाइल नहीं आया, फिर भी पापा बोला ठीक है बड़ा हो गया तो साइकिल तो नहीं चला सकते, चलो बाइक खरीद देता. लास्ट स्टेटमेंट क्या हो सकते हैं? आपको 99 परसेंटाइल आया है नहीं, आपका पापा भी बिजी है, बोला आपको जो करने करो लाइफ में. ये 4 केसेस हैं. ठीक है. ऑल ऑफ यू अंडरस्टूड? सी यही पॉसिबिलिटीज हो सकते हैं ना. यू हैव स्टेटमेंट पी, स्टेटमेंट क्यू. क्या क्या हो सकते हैं? Either you can get 99 percentile or you cannot get 99 percentile, and similarly you can get a bike or you will not get a bike. Okay, so each statement has only 2 possibilities. Now you tell me, see I give this example so that you'll be able to understand very easily. Which case will you be most unhappy with? कौन सा case में you'll become very upset? Of course, if you don't get 99 percentile, you'll be upset. But when will you be most upset?
Second case.
Second case. ठीक है. Why? ठीक है. Maybe that sounds too personal. So second is because you expect, because it is told that the moment you get 99 percentile, you'll be getting a bike. So you expect that you get a bike, but you don't get it. So the definition also works in the same way. The definition also tells only when the first statement is true and the second statement is false. That is the only problem with the if-then type statement. In all other cases, there is absolutely no problem. Okay? So this is a way of remembering this. Okay? So how you can remember this? In this case, the implication statement becomes false, and in all other case there is no problem. Okay, now I'll give a more mathematical version of this. I'll give a mathematical explanation to this, but to remember this is the easiest way, I feel. So first, बोलिए
सर, आपने ऐसा वैक्यूअस ट्रूथ जैसा कुछ बोला था.
yes हाँ, उसी से हम एक्सप्लेन करने वाला थे अभी. ठीक है. Okay, so yeah, now let us come to a more mathematical academic approach of this question. You see, if you guys remember transitive relation, when do you say a relation is transitive? If A comma B exists and B comma C exists and A comma C exists. If this is part of the, if these two parts are, if these two order pairs are part of a relation, and this is also part of the same relation, then we say that that relation R is transitive. ठीक है? याद है ना सबको?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
बट उस टाइम भी बहुत बच्चे को ये कंफ्यूजन था, सर व्हाट इफ वी हैव ए बी एंड अगर बी सी है ही नहीं, मतलब जिससे सेकेंड एलिमेंट जो सेकेंड एलिमेंट आ रहे हैं वो है नहीं यहाँ, then what will happen? What will happen? We discussed that time also. Then automatically such a relation will qualify as a transitive relation. Okay, that time also many of you had doubts, sir ये कैसे हो गया, ये transitive कैसे हो सकते हैं, यहाँ कुछ है नहीं, there is nothing starting with B. Yeah, so that is how, that time also we discussed that, that is how these type of that is how they are defined. They are defined as something called as vacuous truth. Vacuous truth matlab if that does not exist, then it is true anyway. Okay, now how to relate with this particular case? When the condition is false, अगर condition false है तो आप कुछ भी बोल सकते हैं. If your premise is itself false, then what is the consequence doesn't really matter. Okay, for example, if I, like sometimes in school you're given essays now, if I were the prime minister, if I were the prime minister, in childhood you might have been asked to write essays. If I were the prime minister, then बोल के आप कुछ लिखते थे, 10 मार्क ऐसे का शायद कुछ लिखा होगा आप लोग. But all this, you know, it doesn't really, it's not of great importance. No one takes this very seriously. Why no one takes this very seriously? हाँ, आप जो बचपन में ये ऐसे लिखा होगा, if I were the president prime minister, no one takes very seriously. Why?
So because there is no guarantee.
Because you're not the prime minister, simple baat. But today morning, if you know, if you really see Narendra Modi, you know, and he's taking a pen and paper and he's writing, if I were prime minister, then I'll do this, I'll blow a missile on Pakistan, I'll send the 2 troops to China. If he writes an essay, then it's a very serious message. But if we write this message, then no one takes it very seriously. Why no one takes it seriously? Simple reason is because we are not the prime minister. Since we are not the prime minister, आप जो लिखना है लिख दो, है ना? कुछ भी लिख सकते हैं, आपको full marks मिल जाएगा एग्जाम में, provided handwriting is good. So the point is, when your premise is false, P implies Q में, if statement P is false, okay. Now let us come to the truth value. That will make things much better to understand. Truth table कैसे होगा? True, false, sorry, true, 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 false, false, true, false, false. Okay. So very important thing. Actually, this will help you in mains. Actually, जल्दी करने के लिए ये सब छोटा logic है. The moment you know that the first condition is false, आपको आगे कुछ चेक करने का जरूरत नहीं है. Why? Because now it is a vacuous truth. So regardless of what is the second statement, it is going to take the truth value of true. Do you guys understand? ठीक है? So if the condition is true, then regardless of what is the consequence, you can always say that the statement is true. And if both the statements are true, then also the truth value will be true. But the only problem comes in the case where the condition is true, but the consequence is false. Then we say that the truth value is false. ठीक है? Okay. Is everyone clear with the truth table? How many of you are clear with the truth table? अगर एग्जाम में आएंगे तो ये ट्रूथ टेबल लिखने के लिए, बोर्ड एग्जाम में आएंगे तो आप लोग लिख सकते हैं.
सेकंड लास्ट और लास्ट वाला थोड़ा बोल पाएंगे?
लास्ट वाला मतलब ये पिंक वाला?
नहीं नहीं, वो छोड़ के सेकंड लास्ट और लास्ट।
अच्छा, सेकंड लास्ट और लास्ट बोल रहे हैं अगर आपका P फॉल्स है तो आपको Q के बारे में सोचने का जरूरत नहीं है, वो हमेशा ट्रू ही होगा। ओके, एंड एग्जांपल आई गिव, 2-3 एग्जांपल्स आई गिव, लाइक रिलेशंस में वी डिड ट्रांजिटिव रिलेशन। ट्रांजिटिव रिलेशन में इफ यू हैव A B एंड यू डोंट हैव एनी अदर ऑर्डर्ड पेयर स्टार्टिंग विद B, B से स्टार्ट होते कोई ऑर्डर्ड पेयर है नहीं, देन सीधा हम लोग बोल देते दैट द रिलेशन इज ट्रांजिटिव। ओके, similarly here also, if the first statement is false, then regardless of what is the second statement, you can always say that the if then statement is true. Okay,
Yes, I understand.
if if pigs can fly, then Avingshu is a girl. Okay, that's not. Then Avingshu is a fish. Is this a true statement, Avingshu? If pigs can fly, then Avingshu is a fish. This is true. Are you feeling bad?
No, sir. Means yes, it's true.
It's a true statement. So, Avingshu is a fish. It's true. Huh? Okay. If pigs can fly, जो कभी true नहीं होता. That's why आप then जो चाहिए वो लिख सकते हैं. The statement will also be true. ठीक है? Okay. Now let us come to our main business. Okay. Mains में the most important way in which they ask question related to this. For that you need to know little something extra. Okay. Now let us take a small flashback. Look at this truth table. 3 values are true and only 1 value is false. वैसे ट्रूथ टेबल या ऐसे ट्रूथ वैल्यू आप कभी देखे क्या पहले? ट्रू 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 फॉल्स वैसे कुछ देखा? ओनली 1 फॉल्स एंड 3 ट्रू. डिड यू एवर सी दैट बिफोर in any other
Sir,
character? In
or
okay, so actually very important, implication can also be expressed in terms of or statement. ये बहुत important point है. इसी चीज को you can express as a or statement. Okay, so observe carefully how we are going to do it. So or statement is false only when both the statements are false. So somehow here we have to show that this we have to liken this to a statement where both the statements are false. लेकिन यहाँ already ये false है, इसको false बनाना पड़ेगा. So इसको false बनाने के लिए हम क्या कर रहे हैं? I'm taking the negation of P. So consider the negation of P. What is the truth value of negation P? यहाँ false होगा, यहाँ false होगा, यहाँ true होगा. ठीक है? Now consider the truth value of negation P or Q. ठीक है? Why am I taking or? Because or में ऐसे एक ही false आएगा और यहाँ false होने के लिए दोनों false होना पड़ेगा, इसीलिए मैं negation ले लिया. Right? So now just let us find the truth value of this negation P or Q. इसका truth value क्या होगा? बोलिए. Let me just circle both of them. You have to compare this and this. Negation P or Q. बताएं क्या होगा? First वाला बताएं. False और true क्या होगा? जल्दी बताएं.
true,
Second, false or false?
false,
True or true?
true,
True और जो भी है true ही होगा. ठीक है? So if you guys observe carefully, can I say the truth value of both these statements are same? Can I say that the truth value of both of these statements are same?
yes sir,
Okay. So important point, two statements. Now when I say two statements here, I mean compound statement, मतलब ऐसे कुछ connected statements के बारे में. ठीक है? Two statements having the same truth value. two statements having the same truth value are said to be are said to be equivalent. Are said to be equivalent. Okay. So P implies Q is equivalent to the statement negation P or Q. Okay. So ये बहुत अच्छा से समझ के याद रख लीजिए बिकॉज मैथमेटिकली इसको अंडरस्टैंड करना बहुत इजी है. नाउ इफ आई कन्वर्ट दिस इनटू इंग्लिश you might not be able to recognize it immediately. For example, take this statement: if you get 99 percentile, let us say again your parent tells you, if you get 99 percentile, I will buy you a bike. Okay, so this is P implies Q directly a condition format में. Now just try to write the same statement in this fashion. इसी स्टेटमेंट को इस फॉर्मेट में कैसे बोलेंगे हम इंग्लिश में? इसी स्टेटमेंट में इंग्लिश में कैसे बोलना? ट्राई टू टेल दिस स्टेटमेंट फॉर दिस एग्जांपल. ठीक है, मैं बोल रहा हूँ. दिस इज और स्टेटमेंट, इसको इंग्लिश में कैसे बोल सकते हैं? either you won't get 99 percentile or I will
P nor Q होगा.
हाँ
Neither P nor Q.
neither nor नहीं, either or होना चाहिए. Neither nor. Okay, see, neither nor is actually something different. I'll explain after this one. Either you won't get 99 percentile or I will buy you a bike. ठीक है? So this statement is same as, यहाँ जो लिखा है, this statement is same as if you get 99 percentile I will buy you a bike. ठीक है? So that's what I tell. When you write it in English, you'll not be able to recognize it very quickly. Okay, but the negation is very beautiful. What is the negation? So ये भी बहुत बार क्वेश्चन में पूछते हैं. Okay, maybe I'll give you one question from previous year means, then all of you will be able to understand. Just wait 1 second. I'll show one question from means. एक second. Okay. Okay, so I'm displaying a small question. This is a previous year question from 2011. Try this question. 2011 का question है. Okay. Two of you gave answers. both of them are wrong. Anyone else? और किसी को कुछ आंसर है? Okay. So देखिए, ये करने का तरीका देखें. So statement P is if I become a teacher. Statement Q is then I will open a school. ठीक है? So you want the negation of P implies Q. Negation of the statement. Okay, ये बहुत important. इसका negation चाहिए हमको. So negation of this statement is little difficult to understand, but now that is why if you use the equivalent statement of P implies Q, इसका equivalent statement क्या है? इसका equivalent statement है negation of P or Q. Okay. Now we are going to use some properties which we have learned in sets. Okay. So sets में we have learned many properties with complement. If you guys remember, what is A union B whole complement? Does anyone remember?
A complement intersection B complement.
Yeah, very good. ठीक है. See, it goes to the individual set, but then your connection changes. यहाँ जो union है intersection हो गया. Now the same properties, exactly the same properties, you can use for statements also. One more example. ये क्या होगा?
ये तो डी मॉर्गन से बोल रहे
हाँ, डी मॉर्गन. ये क्या होगा?
हैं. It will be A intersection B complement.
ठीक है. So whatever you did with in De Morgan's law, as Mayuk is telling, same thing we can do over here also in statements. Statement में कैसे कर सकते हैं देखिए. Suppose you have negation of P or Q. That can be further written as negation P and negation Q. Okay. Sets में और एक रूल था. What is the complement of complement? A complement whole complement क्या होता है? A. Okay. Similarly here also negation of negation is nothing but the same statement. Not of not. मतलब still वही चीज आ जाएगा. So I'll just write all these things again. But before I go there, let us just solve this question. Now you try to solve this question. I think now you guys will get the answer. तो ये क्या होगा? बताए. इसका नेक्स्ट स्टेप बोल सकते हैं कोई? व्हाट इज द नेक्स्ट स्टेप?
P and negation of Q.
नेगेशन. ठीक है, वेरी गुड. बस खत्म हो गया क्वेश्चन. सो यही पूछा ना, नेगेशन ऑफ दिस एंटायर स्टेटमेंट. तो ये आ गया. नाउ आपको सिंपल इंग्लिश में अभी रिप्लेस कर दो. क्या होगा इन इंग्लिश? वर्ड
It will be option B, option 2.
Option 2, very good. So if I become a teacher, then I will open a school. So इसका negation क्या होगा? I will become a teacher and I will not open a school. ठीक है, बहुत गड़बड़ चीज है, लेकिन this is a negation. Okay. Any doubt, Vaishnavi?
Yes, sir. Sir, in the upper side, you have written in green ink. What is that meaning? Like, is it that the left side is equal to the right side?
Oh, are you asking about this one?
Yes, sir.
No way. ऐसे just. But one symbol which can be used for equivalent, I'm not very sure, but I think this is a symbol for equivalent. I have to check once.
Okay, sir.
Okay. I'm not sure.
Sir, and can you tell why are there like two negations?
Where?
You have written negation of P implies Q is equal to.
That already we saw, na? P implies Q cannot be written as negation of P or Q. We just proved
Okay.
that. And since they want the negation of this whole thing, that's why I wrote the negation of the whole thing. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So I hope everyone understood. How many of you understood this example? This came in means. J means 2000. Olivia, doubt? Any doubt, Olivia Paul?
No, sir.
Do you know how to raise hand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I thought you did not know. So then, let me just write the two things which I told. Important things. Note. First note क्या? De Morgan's law. Use the properties. Use the properties of sets to simplify compound statements. To simplify compound statements. If possible. Example, De Morgan. अलग-अलग नाम है. I don't remember all the names, but De Morgan's law. According to Mayuk, he's telling De Morgan's law. I don't remember it yet. And A intersection B का whole complement. Negation A union negation. Okay. So this is De Morgan law in sets. Now same thing when you do when you want to use it in mathematical reasoning, क्या होगा? Negation of P or Q will become negation P and negation Q. And negation of P and Q will become negation P or negation Q. Actually, you guys can take simple examples. Karke, you can just write English sentences. You'll be able to understand. After class, you can do all that. Okay. And what are the other properties? Similarly, negation of negation P will be equal to P. Just like your A complement whole complement. Just like A complement whole complement. Okay. Sometimes some students solve tough questions using Venn diagrams also. I've seen last year some seniors used to do that. I have not personally approached that way, but वो भी एक approach है. One student had one idea last year. Very nice. Okay, chalo. So we completed till fourth statement. Now let us go to the last statement. Fifth statement. If and only if statement. If and only if. If and only if statement. If and only if statement. This is also called as biconditional statement. Biconditional statement. ठीक है? इसका symbol क्या? The symbol of this is double-sided arrow. P double implies Q. ये इसका symbol है. So ये statements कब true होगा? P double implies Q will be true only when P and Q have the same truth value. Only when P and Q have the same truth value. ठीक है? बाकी सब केसेस में only मतलब इसी केस में ट्रू होगा, बाकी सब केस में फॉल्स होगा. ठीक है? एक्चुअली इट्स अ वेरी सिंपल वे टू अंडरस्टैंड. P डबल इंप्लाइज Q का मतलब क्या? P इंप्लाइज Q भी होना चाहिए एंड Q इंप्लाइज P भी होना चाहिए. अगर ये होगा तब ये होगा, अगर ये होगा तब ये होगा. देन ओनली यू कैन टेल ना बाई इम्प्लाइज और बाई कंडीशनल, तभी बोल सकते हैं. सो इसका मतलब क्या, अगर ये फॉल्स होके ये ट्रू होगा, सॉरी ये ट्रू होके अगर ये फॉल्स होगा, देन द एंटायर थिंग विल बी फॉल्स. एंड सिमिलरली इफ दिस इज फॉल्स एंड दिस इज ट्रू, देन दिस विल बी ट्रू, बट जब आप उल्टा करेंगे, ये ट्रू इंप्लाइज फॉल्स, यहां फॉल्स हो जाएगा. लेकिन दोनों आपको ट्रू होना चाहिए. Do you guys understand what I said? Wait a second, I'll write the truth table. PQ. First, I'll write the answer straight for it, and then we'll do this analysis. True, 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 false, false, true, false, false. ठीक है. यहाँ true, यहाँ true, बाकी सब जगह false. मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ? You just compare it with this. P implies Q and Q implies P. ये दोनों चीजें आप कंपेयर कर सकते हैं. सॉरी, कंपेयर कर सकते हैं. ये ट्रू, ये भी ट्रू, यहाँ ट्रू, यहाँ ट्रू, यहाँ ये फॉल्स, यहाँ ये फॉल्स. सो इन दोनों स्टेटमेंट का बीच में अगर एंड लगाएंगे तो क्या होगा? एंड इन दोनों के बीच में अगर एंड लगाएंगे तो क्या होगा? बोलिए. ये ट्रू होगा, ये ट्रू होगा, ये दो फॉल्स हो जाएगा, which is same as this. ठीक है. So that's what I'm telling. By implies का meaning P implies Q and Q implies P. It's very logical. P by implies Q का मतलब क्या? This statement will imply this and this statement will also imply this. ठीक है. Okay. So this completes all of your different types of connectives. Okay.